Hello and welcome back. So we are now active and streamed. Streaming. Sorry. I told you we were about to go live. So episode 10. One of our players is running late, so I'm not sure when they'll show up or what the story is, but okay. So let's see. Where have we been so far? We have the noble that ran away from home. Okay. Almost started a war. Went to go see her grandma. Went to a town in the swamp. Became a hero. There were apparently a bunch of cutthroats and thieves. And then you went downriver. And your barge was sunk.
Find a group of people we did not track.
You killed a few of them.
Yeah, there's still might be done.
Animated trees are evil. Okay. Somehow, Zarg ended up summoning back Burke. Sorry, Whack. Sorry, I use much the same voice, so I get mixed up. And, well, Zarg was Zarg. Well, I kind of do sometimes too. But it is what it is.
Whack.
Anywho, so Whack didn't do so well summoning Burke back, and basically brought back a corpse and disappeared. And then he spent the day making a boat out of trees to replace the one that sank, while Nasaj basically kept watch. Nick and Knack seemed busy with a few projects that Steven joined in on for a little while. And you were playing with fire most of the day. And you were reading like all day.
Until I wondered where Whack was.
And then as evening approached, late afternoon, early evening, you decided to look for Whack. Used your abilities, found him in the spirit realm, partially brought him back, and then it just wasn't quite working out to finish bringing him back. And then Fee comes over, Zasmine, sorry, with her sword, with the spirits of the gelph residing within, and somehow puts Whack into the sword, and then yanks him out. Or at least what appears to be Whack.
It looks like him, so it's close enough.
It looks like him, it talks like him. Okay, as far as any of you know, it seems to be him, but he is different.
Nice white eyes are gone.
Yeah, now they're dark orbs that seem to absorb light, almost like they're holes within his skull. They no longer look at you, but when you look at them, you get lost in it. Like staring into the abyss.
When you spend time in the abyss becomes part of you a little bit.
One way of putting it.
Watch, someone's gonna go back to Adam one day, and then they're just gonna get sucked into his eyeball like a vortex.
Alright, so, did I miss anything? Really?
Other than the pomegranates.
Oh yeah, you summon a pomegranate tree.
That has never-ending fruit.
Well, it has a limit to the amount of fruit it has. Unless someone casts something on it to make it bear more fruit.
Most likely to grow with the fruits to be the size of someone's head too. We'd never have to worry about rations again. We'd be eating pomegranate.
You probably could. Yeah. Not to mention whatever other plants you might collect along the way. So, here we are. It's evening. Whack's back and resting. Burke is awake, naked.
No, he's
loincloth on.
That's right.
So basically.
He has a loincloth. So he's sitting in his rag, resting near a whack. Nick and Knack are off in the back of camp, working with the animals, and what appears to be a crude, quickly set up work table.
That is perfect what we get.
This is like, I'd say a half hour after you brought back whack. So what is everyone doing?
Is this the morning after we finish the raft, or?
No, I'd say this is the night. 'Cause we left off without doing like the night watch.
I'm going to jump up to my little tree lookout post and do a perception check for any type of movement. And I have night vision, so.
It's still
Oh,
like
so daylight?
dusk.
Oh, dusk, okay.
It's getting dark.
So, just to say it, can I just say that I clear jump up to this thing? Yeah, I clear jump up to a tree. Just,
He springs to the top of a tree in one
He's wearing
jump.
a robe, right?
I'm wearing a leather tunic suit.
You're wearing a
Spider
robe.
silk.
I was gonna ask if I could look to see what your legs look like if they look like
You guys want to come down?
legs.
Perception check?
Yep.
23.
Okay. So you see about a half mile to a mile downriver. It looks like there's some type of large creatures that are playing in the water. Okay. It's
Is that from where we came, or
further downstream.
farther downstream?
Okay. They do appear large. You can't really see too much detail. Make a nature check.
4.
Yeah, you have no idea what these creatures are, but they look big.
Am I within range off action to call down to Nick and Knack and let them know? Or
You
should
could yell, but you would have to yell pretty loud.
Okay, I'll wait till I go down. Is there anything else there that concerning?
You don't notice much of anything else except to the far southeast. You see what looks to be a small plume of what looks to be like a campfire smoke. You're not even sure if you really catch it or not. It just looks like there's a wisp of smoke for a few moments. And the only reason I'm giving that to you is because you rolled that high.
Okay. I'm gonna head down to the tree and immediately go and notify Nick. I'm just gonna tell everyone, I guess if I can do that off action, just kind of walk around and let them know.
Okay. What are you telling them of what you saw?
We have a couple creatures downstream from where we go for the carts that appear to be bathing. I can't get a good look read on what they are, but they're big. But hopefully they'll be gone by the morning if we leave then. And there's also appears to be what I think might have been a bit of a campfire coming from the southeast. I couldn't make out any details. It was just something I saw for a moment, but felt like mentioning.
Something good to keep an eye out for when you meet in the morning.
I relay all information to Nick Knack, Whack, and
Okay. Whack is asleep and so is Burke.
I assume Burke is, and that's fine with Whack. I just let them be then.
What the hell are you doing?
After that, I'm good.
All right. Who wants? So you guys have found out what's going on. Who wants to make the next action?
Did we eat already?
You haven't really cooked anything for dinner.
We have extra pomegranates laying around, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just gonna grab one of those and just eat that.
Okay.
Can I have Jasmine? Brooke is asleep. Yeah. So can I have Jasmine go to a sleeping Brooke and just like
Take it.
measure out his like chest and stuff, so that way I can make
Alright.
him clothing.
Do an investigation check. It seems the most fitting.
16.
All right. You think you have a pretty good measurement of his dimensions. Okay. Anything else? And you are definitely tired from the day. Mentally and physically. You spent all day making a boat. It may be no cost, but if you're continually doing something like that, it's tiring.
I
You
did
need
it for
sleep.
12 hours straight.
You need sleep, princess.
I'll go to Punk and I'll just sleep on. So,
Alright, so you're gonna go curl up on Punk? Okay. So you're asleep.
Yes, unless our group of campfires need any tending to, I'll just grab some too.
What are you gonna eat?
Pomegranates?
Okay.
Maybe.
Alright, roll a d20 for me.
Okay.
I know what happens when you heat up a pomegranate.
I was gonna say.
have I seen vegetables?
Ooh.
MEASUREMENTS.
Oh, 4.
4.
I'm not sitting near him.
Okay. You pick up the first pomegranate, and just as you go to split it open, like everyone showed you, because those were good this morning, the whole thing explodes in this mass of juice and pulp all across your face as the bits of juice sizzle right off your skin
Making you sick.
and smelling like burnt pomegranate. The casing of the pomegranate, the rind, is starting to burn in your hand.
Oh dear.
It definitely does not belong in your does not burn bag.
That's good to know, I guess.
You do also notice that the ground around you seems a bit singed at this point. Okay, but the new bag you got shows no sign of any heat even touching it. Even though your other bags are once again curling at the edges.
I'm cautious to grab another one. So,
And you see me just, eating.
that's so easily.
Did I see what happened? I'm not sitting next
Make a perception roll. And see if you're paying attention enough to notice it. What'd you roll?
This is a good pomegranate.
What'd you roll? A 1?
This is a good pomegranate.
Okay. Your mouth is, your beak is buried inside this pomegranate, pulling its juices out. Your eyes close when all of a sudden you hear a pop,
Would I even hurt
sizzle,
it?
sizzle, sizzle. Oh.
Would I be
As you pull the pomegranate from your face, you have juice in your eyes and you can't see for the next round. Seems fitting.
It does.
Okay, just as you're falling asleep, you hear a pop off in the side of camp. Your passive perception's enough for that.
Can I get out to go look?
You raise your head, you can see across camp, and you can see the kobold over by the main fire, near the pile of pomegranates, covered in red and blackened liquor, or ichor, sizzling, looking dejected, with a burning ball of something in his hand.
After seeing the burning ball, yeah, she's gonna get up and just go to the kobold. So,
What happened?
out there?
Used to be a pomegranate, but then I exploded it.
How did you manage to do that?
Fire.
Can I go get a pomegranate? Because I just want to be involved in this somehow. I just feel like it's a good time.
Were you trying to do?
Yeah, these are a delicacy.
Eerie.
You're the only one here that really respects how much of a
Curtis
delicacy
can't
these
really
are.
do that now.
You're eating like a king.
You see, I'm gonna have Jasmine pour out like
Oh.
2 pounds of snake meat that I have in
I'm
her.
too lazy to write
her
it down in my
small
hand,
plate.
that's
I'm just
too
gonna
much.
hand them over to you. It's anaconda meat,
Mind and
but you
calm
can
down.
cook it up and
You
it
could try.
Okay.
Or implant suggestion.
I mean, we wouldn't hurt him though. That's my whole thing. I don't want to overdo it.
Cautiously take it in case it
No.
does explode.
So, explain to me exactly what you're doing.
Testing telepathy, basically.
Alright.
I gotta sleep tonight at some point, so I get my spell points back.
Anaconda.
It will be burnt and crispy by the time by tomorrow.
I can cook it for you. You can do,
He's a furnace.
Can I
He's
cast Open
constantly
Mind on myself
fire.
first, which will give me advantage on this roll? That's right, that's right.
That's a freebie.
Freebie, yes.
It's
Okay.
gonna be burnt by the
Charm, 1 spell point to add to the basic, just to implement
burnt
suggestion.
jerky.
That's what you're eating.
Enjoy food,
No.
cool down. I guess,
Burnt
is that what,
jerky
one
is
word better?
dry
Cool.
meat.
Stay cool. And I roll with advantage because I cast Open Mind.
Sean, you just gave him 2 pounds of snake
Advantage.
meat.
I looked
Okay.
in my purse of holding and I had it,
9.
so it was like 2
9.
pounds.
Okay. We'll get to that in just a moment. Okay. So, as you hand it to him, and he grasps it in his hands, it starts sizzling. Make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Got this.
You got a +2.
Saving throw.
Ben, or
You added your spell mod, right?
Yeah.
17.
17.
What's your spell save?
I assumed this all.
Could he choose to fail?
13.
Why would I want to?
13?
Yep.
Okay. You feel something like pushing into your head, almost like a thought or an old memory trying to come up to the surface. Do you push against it and resist it while you're talking to her and she's handing you snake meat? So, you don't feel that it took. Okay. So you grab the snake meat. You didn't answer quick enough, sorry. You had to make a decision on some of these things quick, otherwise I'm going to move on. So you grab the snake meat, and it starts sizzling in your hands like meat put onto a frying pan.
Putting it in my fireproof bag. How do you put it on?
As soon as you let go, you can see and feel that it's already cooling down. The flames that were licking across it and the juices that were starting to like snap, crackle, and pop, as you know from cooking meat, okay, just seem to congeal and cool, and the fire goes right out. There's not a single mark on the inside of the bag. So yeah, you see him start cooking the meat. And you're sitting there eating a pomegranate.
Loving it.
Can I see now?
Okay. Make a perception roll.
3.
You open your eyes a bit, but everything is covered in like this film of red. And with it getting dark out, you're not sure what you're freaking seeing right
Can
now.
I go over to the water and just...
Make a nature check at disadvantage. See if you can remember which way the water is and not trip over shit along the way.
2.
So you guys see her get up, okay? Her eyes are all squinty. You can see her face covered in juice. And she's just kind of reaching out, moves away from the camp a few feet, and as she reaches the end of the edge of camp, walking straight towards the animals, away from the water, okay, she trips over a root. Make a dex check.
She falls on a sleeping bunk.
Saving or just normal?
Normal.
11.
You manage to not fall into the large animal patty that was left in the ground, but you can definitely smell it right next to your head as you're laying now prone on the ground.
Oh, I can't even roll over.
What's that?
You all see this.
Help me, please.
Can I go up to her?
Well, with one pomegranate in one hand, I walk over to her to help her up with the other.
I can't see.
Okay. I'm not even going to be between her strength and what I know that you can do. Yeah. The two of you go over. You grab her by the arms. You lift her right up. You feel these strong grips across your arm,
I can't
push you
see.
down into the ground for a moment, and then lift you up very harshly. Do another perception check to see if you stop being blind. This is hilarious.
Not as bad as the time it became a skipping rock.
Taken out by the
Time
pomegranate.
popcorn almost killed a party member. I mean,
18, finally.
Your eyes finally clear, and you can see Zasmine and Nisage holding you up off the ground. And you can see the implant of your body in the mud, and this large pile of refuse that's about 2 inches from the edge of where your snout was.
I'm gonna go over to the river now that I can see.
Do you guys release her?
no, we got it. If you do say that,
We're gonna escort her to the river.
no, that's not what I asked. I said, do you say that you need to go to the river?
I need to go to the river.
Then we
She's
take you to the
covered in
river.
mud.
Yeah, we take you to the river.
Yeah, you get carried.
She's a mess. Her face is all covered in dried pomegranate juice. She's like squinting through her like dried like. You know how? Have you guys ever seen what happens to pomegranates when they're
Monkeys.
left out? So you get that like film that it starts forming, that like corn syrupy kind of.
The distended sugar salt stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we guide her over to the river. We're just gonna walk her over, let her take a knee, tell her where the water is, guide her to it.
You can see exactly what's going on the whole time.
Gonna stick my head in, do the whole bird thing, just.
Make a perception check.
Oh
Alligator.
no! Oh god!
I was joking.
18.
As you open your eyes underwater, you see these 2 rather large fish, but the first thing that occurs to you is not the fish themselves, but the large, pointy, shiny teeth about 6 inches from your face. As the water starts to turn red.
I'm gonna pull my face out.
Okay.
I mean, we're like basically within 5 feet of her. Like this is like, oh wow.
If you guys want to make a perception check to see if you notice the fish underneath the water.
Nat 20.
Now she's black.
Okay, you see the water turn red, and you see her kind of freaking out when she raises her head.
In total, there's a 7, but so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You-
I kind of grab them and start pulling them away
see-
from the water.
You see what looks to be a school of about 15 to 20 fish about yay long that remind you quite a bit of the piranha men from the swamp town.
Can I make an agility check to grab them
Oh,
and
I'm
pull
already-
them
No,
back?
her head's out of the water already.
Okay.
Okay. You can see the red coming out, looking like blood across the water. Okay, and that seems to be attracting them.
Ah. Okay.
But
So it's not any immediate. I'm not worried about them jumping at her. Like I'm worried about them like going for the attack.
no, they don't look like they're voracious, starving, or swarming.
Cool.
They're just there.
Oh, gotcha.
Most likely
And piranhas
sleeping.
don't usually like going after living things if they don't have to.
I would not make that assessment
Yeah,
here.
they
Those
may
2
not.
fish that were in front of
And
you.
that's completely metagame for all of you.
If these are even
Let's assume
piranha.
that they'll eat us.
Yeah, if they're even piranha.
When in doubt,
Okay.
assume they'll eat us.
The only one that's recognized at that watch would be you, and you haven't said anything yet, first of all. Secondly, none of you actually really talk to the piranha people, so you know nothing about them or their race or what type of creatures they stem from.
So in game, I'm gonna walk over to the edge, kind of where you pulled your head out, and make the casual, completely neutral comment of, "Oh, piranha," and then I just turn around and walk away.
What are you 2 doing? You're still sitting by the campfire, I
Just
take it.
Over by the campfire, watching this entire thing go down.
Are you playing with the
Someone
meat?
went up to me.
Are you playing with the meat to cook it? Or are you just leaving it in your bag?
I'll just leave it in my bag for now.
You might want
The heat doesn't even transfer through your bag to it.
Like you actually put your hand in there and it wouldn't hit the bag.
Oh.
Yeah, usually if you grab a bag, you could put water in a bag and start boiling it. Okay? That doesn't work with this one.
No. And that's not a bag of holding. It won't like stay fresh. You might want to cook it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been
Sorry, I figured that was metagaming enough that I tell you it's not a bag of holding. Don't assume.
Yeah, alright.
What's your intelligence?
13.
Yeah, you're intelligent enough to know that this meat is pretty fresh. If you want it to stay fresh, you'll need to cook it or dry it out.
I'll take it out and cook it then.
Okay. So you're playing with meat. Do you have a pan that you're cooking it in, or are you just like playing with it in your hands until it's cooked?
I have a stew pot and a cooking kit.
Okay.
I got the cooking kit.
Okay. So you're cooking it, what, like sitting down and cooking it on your lap? Putting the stew pot on your lap and just kind of stirring it as you go?
Racial bonus. You can just.
Not even racial bonus. It's just class bonus.
I'm curious, honestly.
You can
I'm,
literally
I'm,
just stew pot, just crisscross applesauce, and it will start boiling.
I'm trying to picture it.
Yeah, honestly, I'll just.
Yes,
use
I want to see
myself
this
as the oven.
2-foot-tall cold stove.
Mobile stove.
Who pulls a stew pot out of somewhere?
The stew pot's probably up to here on it. We do the math of this. 2 feet tall. Even if the stew pot's this big, it's still gonna be like.
Unless it's him size.
Stew pot was probably your backpack that you keep all your shit in.
When I put everything in.
So yeah, it's
Because
over
that
his head at
doesn't
this point.
Yeah, because your stew pot doesn't burn. Easy.
Wait, if we put him in, not to like cook you or anything, but on the raft, if we put him in the stew pot, he won't burn the raft.
I'm not even gonna lie. What the concept is that if you have a problem being on this, we're gonna turn you into a hot
I
tub
didn't think of that when making
or a
the
cooking
barge.
pot. But the problem is, would you have any issue in character with that
burn down
assessment?
my barge.
You just
get
become
to
the
be
hot tub
fired.
man.
Hey, I'm using my fire for something.
A little more, man.
He hates water.
Ah, yeah.
That's true.
Wait,
No
wait,
hot
how's
tub.
he gonna make this do that?
You don't need him to be in the hot tub. You just need to be under it.
Whoa.
Yeah. You make something. You can
So-
drink water.
Yeah, with your intelligence, you can tell that as you return back to camp with them, I'm guessing it's what you three are doing. Okay? He has very little control over his heat. Because the ground around him is all singed and charred and dry. Mind you, in the middle of the swamp, where it's like ankle deep mud everywhere, he's on dry dirt.
That's a good
He would
point.
not be a good
Okay? There are charcoal, what used to be probably sticks around him. What's your passive perception again? I know yours is high enough to catch it.
15.
And what's yours?
12,
Okay, so you wouldn't notice this.
unless I rolled.
Okay? You would basically notice the good portion of it. It looks like he's sitting in what used to be like a week-old campfire. Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, you could feel the heat coming off of him. He's pulling out a stew pot, putting the meat into it. You hear it sizzling. Are you adding any water to it, or are you just like using a stew pot like a frying pan?
Add a little bit.
Okay.
Like angrily, kinda.
What are you trying to cook there, little guy?
Sneaky.
In a pot.
He was trying to make stew.
Judge, do you want something?
If you have anything.
I can try using my own magic thingy to like grow vegetable.
We don't know what vegetables are.
I know.
No, you've experienced vegetables now, but you've never grown any or harvested any.
I just imagine you're gonna have this cauliflower broccoli green pepper mix if you tried, because you wouldn't know what a normal tree looks like. We only know some of the veggies.
You guys have had no idea what a pomegranate was. Never, because the idea of fruit growing on a tree is even kind of weird.
Fucking Foxfield.
You knew apples.
I'm basically just gonna say fucking Foxfield.
Can I make that attempt? Can I like go away from him where there's heat? And-
Less heat.
Yeah, less heat. And like
It's on fire.
Trying to think how to approach the fact that
I probably
This is gonna
read
work in a
about
raft.
vegetables.
Well, you heard her comment about vegetables and stuff for a stew. Okay? You have enough experience to know what vegetables look like as they're growing.
okay, you know what I'm thinking.
Yep.
It'd be like the same thing I just did.
Yep. So would that be like, what, 2 spell points in total?
Just one on top of each one, 50. And I still have a mind, so I still got an advantage.
Okay.
Am I right?
You feel like a
Yeah.
probing into the back of your head. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Well, you got your wish, Sky. 8.
Yep, that's less than your saving throw. All right, your mind all of a sudden starts becoming flooded with images that you've never seen before of fields of plants, of people pulling corn, which you've experienced corn now, corn on the cob, off of a stalk growing up. And you realize what corn looks like as it grows. You see someone harvesting these small plants growing out of the ground that look like every other plant. You've probably used some of their leaves before for some of like your dressings because they have pretty waxy leaves. But as they pull them up, you see that they pull up the root with it, which is, you've seen it before, it's a big bulb, kind of fugly looking. No. Potato.
Oh.
What did you roll?
30-20. I didn't even roll with advantage. That was my first roll.
You also now realize what carrots look like when they're growing out of the ground. Radishes, onions. Quickly name like 3 more vegetables.
Celery, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli.
Sure.
You said quickly.
I was
No,
going
no,
with
that was
bell
good.
peppers or just peppers in general.
I was gonna say tomato.
That's a good point. But yeah. So
So now you know what they look like.
Now you have Jasmine.
That was weird. That was just like some of the images you've had flooding towards you from your sword. So you're not sure if it came from your sword, where your spirits were helping you, or for something else, because it wasn't quite like your sword talking to you, but it was the same kind of flash of images. Only these images were crystal clear, like you had seen them with your own physical eyes, instead of looking back on a foggy memory.
She's a bit sketched out, but she's gonna like look at the ground that she's near and try using nature's gift to see if nature could eat some potatoes like they did with pomegranate.
Vegetables.
In the swamp? Okay.
I don't know
Not
what sort of
potatoes.
vegetable would be good for growing in a swamp.
You don't know.
Yes,
you could grow them all and just figure it out after.
I'll try that.
You're gonna ask nature to give you a mall?
Give me a selection of vegetables.
That are good at growing in the swamp.
Okay.
That part won't be as relevant. It's just
Rice. What do you call it? Swamp?
Yeah, you're not sure if it takes effect.
Nope, he has to roll.
Yeah. So, make a... Yeah, what's a good cooking roll for you?
We could do medicine,
survival.
Performance?
survival, performance.
So- Greg, you're in the middle of cooking. What stat do you want to roll for to see how well you cook it? And explain to me why.
Take a good look, find your high stats, then figure out how to go.
While he's figuring that out, okay, you finish casting your spell. Okay, you feel the essence of something around you happen.
How are we doing?
You know it came from her.
What you doing?
And
Nature give me a selection of vegetables.
As-
Let's see how this goes.
as you finish saying that, you notice a path that you didn't notice earlier. That's extremely clear in the woods. That seems to go off for a ways.
So let's skip down it.
I'm gonna follow her ass with my bow drawn just in case.
Okay, so the two of you are going. You see her start skipping down a path that wasn't there 5 minutes ago.
Jesus
And
Christ.
you see me follow with my bow drawn.
I stopped following them.
And what are you doing?
I think I'll use my dexterity because that's
So she
towards
looks away for one
like
moment.
action and stuff and movements. So like how while I'm handling it while it's in the pot,
while you're playing, like juggling it to cook it?
So straight up walk.
Can I help you?
walk.
I thought you were going
Can
to
I help
fire.
him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were going to be.
At a game.
Yeah, this is in the 5 minutes before you go skipping off. Because he's cooking while you're casting this and then go skipping off.
I'm happy. I'm gonna give my little friend some vegetables.
I appreciate the thought, but if you look at it objectively, that also means you're running off at nightfall into the jungle, so hopefully that there's nothing nearby.
You notice that the path is going straight in the direction of where you think you may have saw a campfire.
I call that out. That this was the direction of the campfire. I
Alright.
commented on earlier and told them about.
Alright, I'll go with performance on my charisma.
Okay,
So,
roll.
Also, I'm hearing an echo. Which I'm glad
Your speakers on your computer.
Yeah.
5. I was on 18 for a second. But
5.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're playing
That's
with it.
creepy.
And as you're watching other people do stuff at the same time, it doesn't even occur to you what's happening until it's burnt. Which, you know, overall you have no problem with, but
yeah.
it's definitely lost a good portion of its sustenance.
Well, I guess I wouldn't really care too much about that.
Nope, so you're gonna eat it?
Mobile. Yeah.
Alright, so she gave you what, like 3 good
Two-
pieces?
2 pounds.
2 pounds. So after cooking, that would be about 1/3 of a pound. So that's of actually edible,
Yeah.
not including all the charcoal on it. So that's 1 meal.
Yeah, he burned it.
Yeah, I
I
failed.
should have known.
I failed my
Enough to feed the entire party. Got burned down to enough to feed one.
I still have 28 pounds of steak, so.
Yeah.
We can cook that up for dinner.
Not,
Don't let
not
me
all of
anywhere
it.
near
Not
it.
all of it.
No, but you won't need all
Alright.
of it.
No.
Don't
So-
let me anywhere near it.
As you were bouncing off, he calls out that, you know, I think I saw a campfire in this direction. And
I thought he was chasing us.
yes,
Yeah,
this is
call
as
out.
you start running down that path.
She's skipping.
And
I'm
you
just
see them
following.
start running down their path as you realize that you burned the meat. Are you going with them or are you staying there?
I'll set my stuff aside and follow them.
Okay.
Oh no.
Little legs.
Okay.
Scuttle after
So
them.
you're running right after them. How long are you gonna follow this trail?
But I'm following her, so
Until I see the vegetables.
It's raining, your window is down.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
thank you. Thank you for the warning. So we'll give it a few moments. How far are you guys willing to go before you think it's a good idea to turn back? It's getting dark.
I don't want to get too far from camp. So I want to honestly walk until I can't see the outskirt fires light.
As far as you saw, it looks like it would be about 2 miles, which in this terrain would be about an hour and a half walk.
Yeah, I don't want to be that far away from the rest of everyone, so I guess.
So this is all stuff to keep in mind that she's not really paying attention to.
Yeah, so we gotta call out to her and have a powwow when we get about 200 yards, maybe 100, 150 yards away.
That would be about when you're losing sight of the fires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can call out to her and tell her to stop, and then we can at least
I don't-
powwow.
Yeah, I don't want to go too far from the camp. If I can't see the camp, then
We're 2 away to
Happen
call
to
for
go
help.
away.
yeah. That's my thought process.
It's
We
like
get-
all they make me vote, but one of them other.
Yeah, right.
And it is dark, except for around about 5 feet around you.
I have 60
That seems
feet
to
of dark vision.
have a soft glow.
It just used me as a vote torch.
I have dark vision,
Well, he's not actually burning right now, so it's more like that burning charcoal glow.
so
Oh.
he's like embers. He's
He's
an
a
ember
Little
glow.
red cobalt, right?
Yeah. Well, he's green.
Yeah, I don't really think he really stayed green.
Yeah,
Living
it's
with the
like
fire
naturally
elemental in it.
heating.
He needed
Yeah.
to be red or
And
black.
honestly, most cobalts are red.
Yeah. saw green as an option for kobold colors, and
If you-
I like green.
If
so-
you want to go green, that's fine.
Nah, red makes way more sense.
Okay.
Straight Charmander.
Green
Go
would make
Charmander.
more sense if you were
Proudly, go
nature.
Charmander.
Charmeleon.
We'll get there.
That'll be
We'll
the
get
next
there.
one.
We'll get to Charmander eventually.
No,
I
it's
asked if I could have
Charmeleon and
wings.
Charizard.
Charizard.
No, you just gotta evolve, dude. It's
You gotta
okay. We're just
evolve
starting
up
out.
We'll get you there, and she can technically
You gotta
make
burn 'em
you
all.
larger. So.
Gotta burn 'em all.
That is
Oh.
what he's trying. That is basically what I wrote down under his ID.
Gotta burn them all.
And then off all the windows because they're so open a bit, so
Oh yeah,
no
okay.
well water should get into it
Well,
now.
no, you can usually leave them open a little bit because they have the rain guards on them.
It's too late.
All right, so you're skipping down. You get about 100 yards or so away from camp, and you're starting to lose the sight of the fires. These guys are all following you. As you look back, you can see a soft orangey glow coming from the 2-foot kobold that's trying to catch up with everybody else.
I'm gonna stop.
Okay, she stops. You guys catch up to her.
You can't just run away from camp like that. You don't know what's out in these jungles. I'm supposed to keep you alive. Don't make my job harder. Why are you running in the woods anyways? We don't know the environment. It's nightfall.
Because I used one of my spells to see if I could get some vegetables from it, and then this path appeared. So I thought
Magic
that,
is particular. Sometimes
thought
it leads you
that
to your
my-
death.
My magic like made a path for me to follow to find the vegetable.
Is it entirely possible that the possible thing that was raising the dead things could possibly be making a trap for you perfectly aligned in the woods of the swamp that recently just happened?
Sometimes magic is good. Sometimes it leads you
And-
to your death.
We are assuming
Good
that
thing
it's
you both
a
knew
good
that.
thing. We are at the moment losing sight of
Dump us.
camp. I mean, to do this during nightfall might be unwise. We should probably get back to the camp, and maybe we can check it out tomorrow morning and harvest vegetables.
What if I'm like sneaky about it? What if we
There are
sneak-
creatures here that we've already seen are bigger than us. One mistake, one fall, and you could be ambushed by any number of creatures that live in this jungle.
I mean, you can give me 10 minutes and I'd be able to,
I'm mainly
let
concerned
nothing
about
come
that
up against
little
us.
guy down there.
The one that's next to us now?
He's trying to catch up.
Well, actually, he might still be running.
I stopped because
He will, and I look at it objectively. He's the last one to worry about. He could be a fireball, and no creature here wants to fuck with a fireball.
he's
Can I
still
use
small.
my,
He can be punted easily.
But then we should go back so we have daylight so we can see. I don't know about you. If you have night vision, I do.
I have
Ahem.
Okay.
Neat. Can I use my passive true sight to see if there's anything else living around us that's humanoid?
What's the range on that?
1,000 feet per level of user.
What's your primal level?
1. We only get 1,000
So 1,000 feet. Okay, you can sense the mounts back at camp. Because you only went about 1,000. Oh no, you went 1,000 yards. So that's like 3,000 feet. Sorry, you don't sense them. You sense hundreds of creatures all around you
But no.
in such a tight clustering of movement that you make a perception check. I'll give you a chance to be able to define what you're looking at.
that sounds good. We can come back in the morning with
8.
everyone then.
It's a
Before we leave
writhing mass.
Before we leave on the raft.
It's creepy
We should. Is it like above us or in front of us?
everywhere. Above you, below you, to each side.
We should go back.
The trees themselves seem to be crawling and twisting,
We should really go back.
with things crawling all over it. There are things below the ground crawling. Some of them seem relatively large. You rolled an 8 for perception? Okay. Yeah, so that's what you see.
We should go back tomorrow when it's sunny out and I'm not taking all this living matter.
Could I like pull my sword out and see if I could get a spirit? Go check down the rest of the path for me.
Make a wisdom roll.
21.
You concentrate, you focus your primal energy. It does cost you a spell point. Okay.
Spirit
And
summon.
yep.
It's 3 spell points.
So 3 spell points. Sorry, thank you. I appreciate your honesty. I don't remember what the cost of all your spells are. Alright, and yeah, you summon out a 3-foot tall female figure carrying a longbow,
Your sword can't take any shape.
I just wanted
who
to
looks at you, smiles.
Could you maybe check down this path for me for anything that possibly kill us?
Endanger us.
If there was a fire down that way.
Verify.
Not 20.
She disappears, and about a minute later, you hear a voice. There's a small hut with a garden out front. Looks like a small farm. I can't see who's within.
So there's nothing dangerous.
Spirit be with you. And then it fades away.
Yeah, if someone else is living out here, it's best not to go and bother them, so let's just head back and mind our own damn business.
They have a farm, so
Let's go back and mind our own business. We are in uncharted territory for us. This is the middle of the swamp. They could, let alone try to kill us. Think smart.
Was there any confirmation from your spirit call that there's nothing dangerous ahead?
They said that there wasn't really anything dangerous.
But they couldn't see in the hut.
We don't know that.
If there's a hut in the farm and they are somehow settling living here, it'd be best to travel to their farm in daylight. And or else we could be an approaching attacker. They have no reason to assume that we're not hostile. So if we do want to visit them,
Oh no, it's dark at this point.
it'd be best to do so in daylight and come as a visitor as opposed to a possible
Enemy.
intruder. So I suggest we head back.
It's early evening. All the nocturnal creatures are coming out. You all head back? Alright, you get back to camp. You're still kind of hungry. The rest of you have eaten fruits. So you're at least somewhat satisfied.
That's the name before she started burgering. So.
Yeah. So what's your plan now? It's evening, and you woke up to do this. You're still feeling exhausted.
What time is it exactly?
Yeah, somewhere between like 7 and 9 o'clock.
Okay.
None of you have a timepiece.
I'm gonna take first watch then.
I'll get sleep and I'll ask Beck
Put one of his
to
arms
stoke
on
the
me.
fires extra tonight. Maybe add a couple extra on the peripheral. Give us a good perimeter in case there's anything at night.
These
that comes
fires,
wandering.
untouched, will burn all freaking night long at this point.
Okay. So I guess they're all set. So yep, I'll just
And
sleep.
they're each shedding like 50-foot long radius.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay? He's making fires bigger than him.
That's not hard.
No.
2 feet tall. Most
Okay.
fires.
They're glowing rocks at this point.
Okay, cool. Now as long as we have that much coverage, then I sleep.
I'm guessing that's roughly what you were doing with the bonfires. Make them big, make them bold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has no self-control.
Yep.
I did ask you to put 6 large fires around the camp, so you did do your job.
Yeah,
So.
Yes.
we have a ring of campfires around us.
Yeah. You know, there's about a 10-foot gap in between each one because they're that big.
Well, it should be.
And you guys quickly rush in between them so you don't get burned.
I just jump over it.
Alright, so you take first watch. Make
Is
perce-
anyone else taking first watch with me?
No, because
you
I'm gonna go
I'm
sleep.
sleep. I need sleep.
yeah, the two of you are resting.
I've had plenty of rest
You seem
recently, so I can I'll take first watch.
Like,
Okay. So how long are you taking your first watch for? 4 hours or 6 hours? Or are you going for a full 8?
Just 4 hours.
Okay. Alright, perception roll for both of you.
No, no.
I know. 20.
What'd you roll?
So close.
Oh.
17.
The fire, inside the firelight, it's really nice and comfy. Okay. You probably pull out one of your books to read a little bit.
Seems like something she would do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
She just doesn't have a glass of tea with her.
So
British spec.
you don't notice much of anything. What did you roll?
17?
17? Okay. You can feel what's coming in and out of the light of the fires. Okay, when you reach out enough. And you're starting to realize this at this point. That when something's starting to burn near you, you can sense it. Okay, you sense a whole bunch of bugs, small creatures, just get incinerated as they come within the vicinity of your fires. It's like watching a bug zapper at the campground. Okay? Because you focus the heat of these fires. Because people were saying it was getting too hot. But no big thing that comes too close to it. You do notice that close to the end of your shift, though, you do feel a slight rumbling underground. But you're not really sure if it was just you thinking you felt it or if it was something else.
Oh, finally, the light bender.
And when you
is
look
here.
at her,
You don't see
she doesn't seem to notice or care about it at all, so it must be fine.
Alright.
Alright, so what are you doing at the end of your 4-hour watch?
How many hours do we have, or is it just the end?
Usually you want to get 8 hours for a full rest. So usually you'll do like 3 watches, so it's a 12-hour rest overall. And that way one person does 4 hours, and then, most of the other group can get the 8 hours, and you kind of go through the whole rotation.
I'll go to him, and I'll kind of wake those two up and say, your shift now. It's night shift.
Yep, we're doing perception checks for second late watch.
Okay.
I go hop up to my tree.
Welcome back. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Just so you, when we catch up from last time, you said you were having a long conversation with Nick about enchanting
Yes.
and on how to better manage your spell points. And he shows you an interesting trick when he's doing the enchantment, where he does like an AoE enchantment of multiple objects at once. And make an intelligence check for me.
Of course, my first roll, a nat fail.
A 1?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
If you want to try other dice, you're more than welcome
Okay.
to, but choose between these, please.
Oh yeah, can't use the ones.
There's someone else's dice that he's not too happy about.
Have a good one, everyone.
Nice.
Alright, have fun.
Yeah,
We'll
what's up?
see ya.
Hey. Hey, take it easy, buddy.
We're gonna take a break in a few moments anyway.
Yo, Joe's gonna be coming to pick me up. Do some disco.
Well, I got a lot.
I don't like
I'd be at a disadvantage, but could I try a wisdom
Hey,
roll?
are you broadcasting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so when I get home, I'll text you to get the link.
Sure, man, no
And
problem.
I'll stop.
Ah.
It's a little rich.
And by that, I mean everyone else.
Well,
12?
Take it easy, brother.
Okay. You know your Holy Nova spell?
yeah.
Okay. He's telling you how he just kept on focusing on magical items around him that he's enchanted in order to subconsciously put spell points into him. When he gains a full max spell points from resting, he'll just dump them and then rest again till he come back. You get the general feeling that you could do something like your Holy Nova with that as an action if you want to work on it, to give yourself an aura that might offer healing or protection or some other effect as an ongoing trait, to give you an ongoing drain to offset your feeding.
Okay.
But it would definitely take some work to figure out how you wanted to do it. Okay, so after this long conversation, you take a rest, mixed exploding fruit and people disappearing, until you get woken up by the skek, where
Gently,
the
not
first thing you see when you awaken,
no.
as soon as you awaken, you start glowing, and you see the light coming off of this beaked
Please tell me my eyes are actually
Face.
no, my eyes are reflective.
with reflective eyes staring like
So shiny eyes.
10 inches from your face.
Hi. It's time for you to take a watch.
Okay.
Alright, so 2 of you want to roll
I like
perception for watch? 2 of them.
You looked at me and I was like, I'm going to
passive?
bed.
No.
I was looking at the end.
Perception.
Ah. Very wide.
11.
13.
Okay.
Better than my roll.
You sense that there's something in the vicinity. You can kind of sense it and feel its limited intelligence of something that's not anything that's been here this whole time. I'm using your ESP to give you the offset for it. You notice that every so often the ground feels like it's almost shifting. And we're going to take a break here. So we'll be back in a few moments. Thank you for showing up. Okay, and we shall see what happens upon our return.